Dun dun dun! He's dead and he's been pinned to the wall. How normal. I have fixed the emulator so I can actually save state now. So that's a good. In the study, investigate the bottom right corner of the cabinet. I already did that. I found a key there. Here's a drawer. That's not a cabinet. Oh my god, that's not a calmness. Calmness. Just be calm and don't be angry at the game. I could not have more specifically needed exactly that photograph. Yasu, I hate you. I want you dead. I want you to die. I want you dead, Yasu. I'm gonna kill you and put your body on top of the other body, and then I'll have 2 murders to investigate. Can't you just say, like, sweep the room? I'd like you to tell us what you know about Mr. Hirata. You mean my dad? How about the lighter? The interesting custom lighter. He might know about that. It doesn't belong to Kozo. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, this guy! Mr. Kawamura. Okay. Ask about Mr. Kawamura, then. He used to come here pretty often. Don't suppose you have a picture of him. Great. Great. Okay. The other thing that makes me think it's definitely not Mr. Kawamura is that the direction of owing was wrong. Kozo owed Mr. Kawamura money, and you don't kill somebody who owes you money unless you can get the money out of them by doing so. Oh, I didn't ask about the lighter. Maybe it was Mr. Kawamura's lighter. Let's ask them about the lighter. This is a bar in the 80s, so you're allowed to smoke in here, and everyone does. Oop. It's Mr. Kawamura's. Okay, now we're talking, I don't know what to do with that. I can go back to the police station and see if I can show it to anybody. Now that we know a little bit more about the lighter, can we say what we know about it? Nope, useless. We know it's a very fancy lighter, so Mr. Kawamura is a rich person, which we also know anyway. So where would we go to find Mr. Fancy Pants? Maybe that place that's across from Kobe Harbor? So I'm gonna go here instead. I'm just gonna look for Mr. Kawamura in a bunch of places. Who could we show? So we showed the lighter. That told us that Mr. Kawamura, that it's his lighter, and that tells us that he was in the mansion at some point. We don't know what point, don't really know the significance yet, but we know he was there. Period. Oh, okay. So Okoi does matter. We had to, okay. Okay, fine. Let's go to the police station. Let's call out Okoi. Let's start by taking a photo. Then let's, you know, when she didn't let me do that, let's take her clothes. I was really hoping it would have a reaction like that. That's great. Okay, anyway. This is Mr. Kawamura's lighter, isn't it? Yes, okay. Can I ask her about Mr. Kawamura? Yes! Could you, like, tell me where he lives or something? Do you know anything about Kozo? Ah! Interesting. Interesting. I actually believe you. I do want to hit you just because police brutality is the right way to play this game. That's probably a pretty good alibi, actually. Just before we police brutality, let's go ahead and save state, because I have literally no reason to do this. Okay, now let's ask her again about Mr. Kawamura. I was really hoping she might know where he lives or something. Maybe he's in the strip club at all times. He just lives there. And you're under arrest for being a stripper. Let's not brutalize her. That feels like not a great thing to do. Starting to think his first name is just Mr. Yeah, everybody only knows him as Mr. Specklet. Oh, so now that we know a bit more about him, can we call him in? I didn't even try. I assumed that... But, like, if we know he has 6 convictions, then we know enough about him to call him in, surely. He's got a rap sheet. We've got his first name, too. Masaji. Short for misogynist. I feel like the place I'm most likely to screw up is when investigating, so this is what I'm choosing to save state. Okay. With each step, we learn just a little bit more, but not enough to do anything useful. Okay, the key we're basically done with. The photo of Kozo was basically to get the barkeep to know him. The memo was about the drugs. The package was the drugs. The IOUs are, you know, they tell us who's who. The knife is the murder weapon. The matchbox, other than leading us to Pal Bar, I don't know if it has any purpose. And the lighter has told us a lot about Kawamura. So, I don't have the ring. I probably didn't actually pick up the ring because I'm an idiot. Thank you, Specklad. I indeed didn't actually pick up the ring because I'm an idiot. Now let's see whose ring this is. Let's start by calling people out, see if anybody knows about it. By the way, stuff I've already told you 4 times. I mean, it's not going to be Toshi's ring, is it? Okay. 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 I mean, she's clearly lying. Surely that's enough to give her a quick punch in the face, right? Like, police brutality with a purpose. She's clearly lying. We can't punch a child even if the child is lying. Do I have to, like, go back and forth? I have to now talk to Toshi again? No. I mean, there's obviously something there, and that might let us, get a little bit more information. But I don't know. Yes, at least we're allowed to hit Toshi if we want to. So we know that Yukiko... Oh, maybe we need to ask her about her alibi or something. God, I want to punch her. Just says the same thing. So now we have Yukiko's ring, but it was lost outside of the mansion. Maybe Mr. Hirata took it to try to pawn it, essentially? Helps me pretty much none. Maybe I have to theorize. Thus far, theorization has been pretty useless. Yeah, it's just the same thing as he said before. I'm impressed that the bartender is, has been able to continue tending bar with only one arm. He's an inspiration, really. Hello. So, harass Yukiko enough and she'll find more information. Probably had to show her the ring. Could you remember it for me, boss? Screw you. Remember things yourself. 177-2493. Okay. This feels somewhat familiar. We're sorry. The number you've dialed is not in service. So if it's not a phone number... Or maybe I misdialed it? So it's either not a phone number or no longer a valid phone number. Or it's not a local number. Because this is the 1980s and it doesn't have an area code. So if I dial it in Kyoto, I'll get something different. Hello! I'm old. Teradaya Inn. He stayed, past tense, with us. He said he's heading to Amitabha Peak. I'm betting he's dead. Oh yeah, he's very dead. He is profoundly dead. Very, very dead. So Mr. Hirata was the culprit after all. He killed Kozo and then took his own life. A sad ending, but the case has been solved. Please command me to close this case, boss. No, let's investigate instead. I mean, there's an absence of, like a stool or anything in the grass, so it would have been quite tricky for him to hang himself in this way. And the tree in the background is a different color. Seems to have left a note. Yeah, that one was fine. I would barely even call that pixel hunting. That's like the space where there should be a stool. There isn't. He tied the knot mid-jump, says Hoomston. Yes. Let's investigate that note. It says nothing about having murdered Kozo. And he wouldn't worry that much about the debt if he knew that the, target of the debt was been murdered. Okay, well, let's go harass his daughter. Let's call his daughter out here. That seems like a great place. No, do it! Do it! Do it! So lonely. So lonely. Can we not take the body? Fine, take the grass then. You know what, given that I can save state, let me see what happens if I close the case now, even though it's clearly wrong. Mr. Hirata was the criminal after all. Take care. Several days later. Do I have to... Okay. Boss, oh no, the chief wants to have a talk with you. Hello, the chief here. Mr. Hirata is what the heck do you mean Mr. Hirata is a criminal? The autopsy report says Mr. Hirata died around 1 p.m. on the 17th. He was dead before Kozo was killed. We open the investigation immediately understand such idiots. Man, that was harsh. Okay then, I guess we should get back to... Okay. So it doesn't just, it's not just like a you lose. It does sort of force you to continue after a brief chastisement. Well, let's punch the dead body. I think that's right, Hoomston. I think, yeah, it was making a weed joke, and I didn't even catch it. Take the grass. Okay. You know what, let's go back to Kobe. Let's go back to the police station. The results of Mr. Hirata's autopsy are in. His time of death has been put at 1 p.m. on the 17th. This means he was dead before Kozo died. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Welp, let's call out his daughter and tell her congratulations, you've inherited his debt! That's a weird reaction to your father committing suicide. That's a pretty strange reaction to your father committing suicide. He did at least choose a beautiful place to kill himself, so that was nice of him. We might be done with her. That whole thing might have just been to clear his name, in which case the only suspect we have left is but I don't know what to do with that information. Can you arrest Yukiko for being a nuisance, asks Specklad. Boy howdy, I'd love to. No is the answer. Oh, I didn't think, yeah, because of course I took that. No, can't show her the suicide note. That would be a pretty vicious thing to do. Hilarious, but vicious. I mean, I'm pretty much in the same position I was in before, but with one name eliminated from the list of possibilities. Brain, no. Worky, not. Know what next do? Well, color me confused. Okay, let's think. Hanakuma gave us some information. Not a lot, but a non-zero amount. The mansion, I really feel like I've searched the mansion pretty exhaustively at this point. The only possibility that's still sort of haunting me is that there could be more in that stupid basement. Like there could be, I had to knock on a wall or some kind of nonsense like that. The harbor, I feel like that was mostly about Toshi, and then it lets you go out to that other suburb, but we have no reason to go there. I'm betting that Mr. Kawamura lives there, but we don't know how to find that out, and without that information, we can't do anything with it. Shinkaichi is where the PAL bar is, as well as the strip club. The strip club let us find out about Kawamura. Toshi's apartment was just for Toshi, of course, and Kyoto probably was just for Mr. Hirata. So, I suspect we need to figure out that Mr. Kawamura lives on that other island. How we are supposed to do that, I don't know. What? Why would you... But... Investigate someone is supposed to just be information you know. It's not... Why wouldn't you have just told me that, Yasu? Oh my god. That's BS. He agreed to lend some more. So according to her, Mr. Yamakawa was in agreement. This means Kozo wasn't responsible for Mr. Hirata's suicide. No crap. He was supposed to be in a ton of debt. But also it doesn't mean that, because she might not have communicated back to Mr. Hirata. Whatever. Oh, of course, Spec Lad. Oh, God. Of course it would be this garbage that you have to, like, go somewhere, and then once you get to the police station, you'll be like, hey, here's a message for us. It's told that Okoi just now called in with a tip saying that Mr. Kawamura is at the Sumire apartments right now. I don't know where the Sumire... Oh, yes. Apparently I do. They're right here. Dun, dun, dun! He's dead and he's been pinned to the wall. How normal. We're now at the Sumire apartments. What in the world? It's Mr. Kawamura. He's dead. We never expected this. What with this game being called the Portopia Serial Murder Case? He gave up, realizing there was no more running, and chose suicide. Well, case closed. Disappointing end, but the case has been solved. Please command me to close this case, boss. Body is still warm. I don't think it's been very long since death. One stab to the neck with a knife. It's the same MO as Kozo's case. There's no sign of theft or vandalism. I mean, not only was he stabbed in the neck, but they, like, stuck the knife through and stuck him to the wall with the knife, which seems pretty gruesome. Then take the entire room. Oh, fine. Let's stupidly try to close the case. Just for giggles. After saving. Congratulations, Mr. Kawamura was a criminal after all. Take care. Several days later. That's how the death happened. I don't think your murderer is human. Yeah, pinned him to the wall with a knife. Doesn't seem very human, possible. Guy had 6 previous convictions. He's the type that gets released and then commits another crime again. He's not the type of guy who would commit suicide because he faces another arrest. Yep. That's not a very good bit of reasoning, but I mean, it is correct in this case. Anyway, let's not do that. Let's just punch the dead body because we're cool like that. Anything else to investigate? Okay, so if we go back to the police station, then it'll be like... The coroner reported back, or not. Or not. Would have loved to hear from the coroner. We need to ask for an alibi first. That's going to be hard. That's going to be difficult. That guy was killed too? No way! Yahweh! Yeah, he was killed too. There is something he mentioned once. The biggest swindle he worked up with Kozo victimized a company over in Sumoto called Sawaki Industries. Oh, speaking of which, did you say the personal assistant's name was Fumi Sawaki? Oh, it's nothing. You know, I'm sorry, but I showed it. I'll be seeing you. Bye. That's not suspicious at all. Dun dun dun! Fumiya is gone. We can't go to the company. We can't go to the company. It's gone. Okay, who would know about Fumi? Only what's his face, the guard. I mean, the only way I've gotten leads before is I go to the police station, then it's like, oh, a lead came in. Pretty annoying. Maybe the company is on that island. Was that the name of that island? Maybe that was the name of that island. I don't remember the name of that island. Maybe that was the name of that island. Sumoto. Yeah, okay. I can't go to the... Oh, Fumi, the poor little girl. Her father's company was conned and went bankrupt. Both her parents committed suicide. After that, she was taken in by some relatives. And she was separated from her only sibling, her older brother. The older brother? Well, I don't know where he ended up. If I recall correctly, the boy had a butterfly-shaped birthmark on his shoulder. That's not very useful. Well, he's adopted by a different family, so I don't even think he'd still have the same last name. Okay, that's it. Is this where the stripping comes into play? Asks Specklad. Ask Okoi if she knows anybody, any male strippers with a butterfly tattoo. Okay. So now I have a hint about her brother. No clues about her. Yeah, I don't really have anything of hers or anything. I have taken a picture of her. Speclad, I've already stripped the guard. Oh, but now I know what to look for. Now, okay. He wasn't carrying anything suspicious, but now I have a reason to do it other than just to be a lecher. Oh, some sort of map has been discovered in the ceiling of Mr. Kawamura's apartment and has been sent over. This map isn't the map of the underground maze at Kozu's mansion. According to this, it looks like there's still some secret left in that maze. Forward 3, left 8, left 4, right 5, left ... Okay, just what I wanted, to go back to the stupid maze. Is this the only place I'm gonna have to map in this entire game? Here we go. Left. I mean, it said the rest was torn off, but, like, this isn't very useful. I've already found the safe. Did it maybe not know that I'd found the safe? Okay, that didn't do anything. Not surprising. Let's, so long as we're in a horrible basement, theorize about Fumi's brother. Great, you're useful as always. Can I just try moving forwards? No. Maybe someone else has the other half of the map, suggests Speclad. That would be outrageously helpful. I mean, if anybody did, it would be Kozo. Well, either way, I haven't found anything just by twiddling about there, and I don't think the right solution is just to wander aimlessly and hope that I find it. So let's strip search every male. I mean, Mr. Kamiya is considerably older than Fumi, so I really doubt that she's his brother. She's her, that he's her brother. There we go, I know how pronouns work. But it's always fun to strip search people. Just gonna strip search every male. That was actually all of them. That was all of them. Still can't find Fumi. It's good I took a picture of Fumi. Maybe the rest of the map is here? Now that I know half the map was on the ceiling? Anybody nearby? Curious that no one is around. But not very curious. I have it on good authority from Speclad that there's no more pixel hunting, Joey. We should be done with the pixel hunting. We better be done with the pixel hunting. So it's presumably written on this wall. Let's just quickly investigate the wall. How about if I turn left and investigate the not wall here? Investigate. I'm just gonna go one by one through all the walls, investigate them, and hit them. Good point, Joey. Yeah, I should hit the walls. This kind of game is so frustrating to me because technologically, or not exactly technologically, but in terms of sort of the thought put into it, it is almost good. But then no thought was put into, is this a playable game that anyone might actually want to play and enjoy? It's also slightly suspicious that this is around like a big chamber, but it doesn't seem like much of a chamber. You don't investigate and you don't hit, says Speclad. What? The instructions end with me staring just like this in this direction. Yeah, I did try to walk into this wall and it didn't do anything. Because this wall is sort of exactly centered. Game. Game. Oh, interesting. Even though hitting it didn't do anything, can I just investigate it harder? Oh, okay. I just have to ram him into the wall repeatedly. No? Oh my god, game. I don't accept this! That's BS. That's ridiculous. Because he gives the same message, and you just have to bash him into the wall repeatedly. That's just absurd. Why would anyone try doing that? It's an old desk. There's nothing special about it. Mine now. So what, I found a desk for no reason? I don't feel like I really accomplished very much by finding this desk. No, I didn't actually want you to do that. Oh my god, I keep... Let me get the map out of the way. What he was doing with this secret room. Why would you try it here, but not anywhere else? Oh right, Mr. Kamiya said he heard voices coming from below. I'm going to try shouting. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate all of this. I hate it. I didn't want to investigate the table. Boss, this diary belongs to Kozo. According to this, it seems he knew that Fumi was the daughter of the owners of Suak and It says he hired her as his personal assistant knowing this. It says he did it wanting to make it up to the Sawakis as his children. He goes on and on like this, talking about his regret. He's also written that he's going to take responsibility for Fumi like she was his own daughter, including leaving some of his money to her. If Fumi's older brother really was the criminal, did we conclude that? And if he were to read this diary, surely he would feel a little regret. Boss! Well, we still haven't found him, but, you know, whatevs. Well, now I just want to, like, bash into more walls and such, just in case. Absolute garbage. I just like the dumbest shit in the world. Break the table. Smash it. Okay, so it remembers that that's there. Oh good, there are no more walls to bash. I'm sure there's no other BS in this game. Okay. Okay, that seems useful. The next part is BS 2, says Speclad. Is it just go everywhere and hope you find somebody? There's one person that I haven't stripped yet, says Speclad. But it won't let me strip any of the women. There is someone, says Speclad. I mean, I haven't stripped Yasu. Okay, if I ask him over and over again, I'll force him. Okay. But, okay, I don't hate that. I hate it a little bit. I don't hate it that much, though. But I hate it a little bit. That was a brilliant deduction. I'm Fumi's older brother, the one that taken it by the relatives. I am also the one who killed Kozo and Mr. Kawamura. They drove both of my parents to suicide and I couldn't forgive them. That night after I killed Kozo, I used a key I found there to lock the door to the study after myself. But the key was found inserted into the keyhole from the inside of the door, you say? Boss, do you still not understand? Fumi's back. I'll take it from here. Fumi, I told you to run away. Yasu, please let me talk for a minute. Having received the key from my brother, the next morning I called for Mr. Kamiya and had him break open the door. And then Mr. Kamiya saw the body before he recovered from the shock. I slipped the key into the door lock, but from the study side of the door. Of course, I did this to make it appear like the room had been locked the whole time. This is the end of everything. It's a bit ironic, though, to learn after killing him that Kozu had regretted what he'd done to us. Yasu! Fumi! Secret code. Oh, don't, that's not for you. That's not for the viewing audience. Don't use the secret. Go solve it yourself. That was dumb. My unique method of deductive reasoning is just strip everyone.